welcome back. Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by Roll20, The Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you so much to the support of our, all of you. Like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. Thank you. But a special shout out to our patrons who support us monetarily and share with us their ill-gotten gains and what they've stolen and, run off with and sold to their local fence. Because you are all terrible, dastardly rogues.
So that took a turn.
Yeah, I know. The words just kept coming out, and I was like, I got to turn this around somewhere. So yes, thank you to Alan, Michael, Alexander, Algos, Am Short, No Tall. Okay. Not tall. Badura, Bernie, Brandon, Danny, Doc, Abil, Giovanni, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Cat Feathers, Lance, Melissa, Michael, Moku, Noba, One True Michael, Perry, Puppeteer, Roy Visgrad, Ryan, Schmitty, Sebastian, Seth, Cinna, Serenus, Terry, The Banty, Thomas, Usuf Sama, and Firekeeper. Thank you guys. We greatly appreciate your support. And all the claps in chat. Right. So when we last left, the Cabal had dealt with a gallery brown retainer thing by turning it into a marble and then smashing said marble. Summoned up a little goblin of community spirit thing. I realized afterwards, I was like, goblins are technically a changeling thing, so let's be clear that it is a spirit that they summoned. But yes. And then arranged a meeting with some vampires. Yeah.
Some vampires?
Well, a vampire.
One.
A specific vampire who may or may not bring an entourage.
That's fine.
Yep. So right, we pick up the at this point late afternoon because Atratus spent 3 hours that morning summoning up the spirit and taking a selfie with it and texting that to Logan, I would imagine, at least.
Logan and Shanna.
Oh, yeah, naturally. Yeah. Cool.
The only text is, guys, holy fuck.
Yeah. Anything else or fast forwarding to... Go ahead. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, we're fast forwarding to the meeting with Shiko, or...
I would say just some quick little prep steps would just be to... I think it'd be... I don't know that it would do anything actually, but for sake of what Songbird is trying to accomplish, and also I think that Hadramiel would approve, I'm going to do some geomancy in the space, and just basically fill that space to the brim with prime energy and resonance of peace talks sort of energy, that resonance
unity
of not quite unity, more literally
diplomatic peace talks,
diplomatic peace talks, post-war,
sure.
The same resonance that the United Nations ends up having,
sure,
as I imagine it, in a perfect world, I guess.
Right.
That's very good.
It's very good.
Is Kraken?
Octopus.
Oh, okay. Sure.
One of the little ladies says, "We are alone in this together."
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not even going to have you roll. That's...
Yeah, I figured as much.
What about for anybody else before that meeting, the afternoon? Because I know Wyrd went and chatted with, some of the homeless folks, and then probably back to go crash somewhere, because late night with no sleep. Yeah. If nothing else, then we will jump over to... Okay, cool. Sun sets and Songbird, I imagine, texts, time and location. And Songbird is already there, and Hadramiel arrives, a little bit before the meeting time, since at this point, since you guys have set the location, you guys are the hosts, in one way or another. He basically goes inside, meets up with you, and like I said, this is it's like a community, dojo kind of thing. There's a back room of, for like, that's definitely very adamantine arrow. You've got like, where the other room is like, oh yeah, there's some cool posters of kung fu and, martial arts. Like in the back room is like, this is near on, not quite temple, but there's some,
there's a reverence to the space.
Yeah, spirituality is the word. Yeah, I was thinking. And he does a quick look around and says, "Cool." And he's realizing you guys have a problem with chairs, but like finds a place to like, I'm sure there's pads or something like that, and finds a spot to like sit awkwardly cross-legged on the floor. He
goes full Bible school, flips that chair around, sits on it backwards like the cool, the cool guy he is.
Cool youth minister.
Yep. Yeah. He's definitely sitting cross-legged on the floor and like, yep, okay. And this place is secure, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
You worried about a couple leeches?
Not so much worried, because at this point I'm sitting with probably one of the most dangerous fighters in the Concilium, and you're on my side, and I'm pretty sure I can vaporize them with a quick thought.
Right.
It's less the danger side and what are the potential repercussions of what we're about to offer here that is really messing with me.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, sure. Famous last words. Also, I have a, Paternoster scepter sitting up in my attic, and I'm wondering if somebody's going to just show up and take it. So, yes, I have other things on my mind.
Sure.
But no,
speaking of Paternoster.
Yes.
Whooped one of their asses the other day, so.
You'll tell me about that later. Like, trying to
how long does the
keep
triumphant
focused.
Condition last? If you're bragging about it now, do you still?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because this has been
while we're
24, 48 hours.
Like, and that's actually what I'm trying to do is like trying to like briefly like talk about that and like distract some of the like nervous energy and like worry that he's got. And be like, no, like seriously, don't worry about Paternoster. They're all a bunch of fucking wimps. Like,
I laid one out and sent them running and sent a bunch of geists to chase them down. And last I saw them, Red Dread was calmly walking after them with a horde of spirits.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And if that was their best and brightest, then oh boy.
Yeah. But yeah, you can clear that condition, take that beat, and he kind of sits back and relaxes. It goes, okay, right. And hey, maybe those are the folks that were moving into the territory. Maybe, yeah, that's totally it. I'm sure. Like you can see, he's getting his head in the game. Yep.
Lock it up.
And you hear like a rap on the like the window, outside at the front door. And Hadromiel like looks over at you expectantly.
I got it.
Do you have to invite them in?
I'll open up the door. Is it just Shiko?
It is Shiko and two gangrel that you have seen before, but like they're definitely her like bodyguard and types.
Like just very like cheekily is like, do I have to invite you in?
No.
Is that I always wondered.
Like just like shoves you back. But notably, as she steps in, she turns to the two of them and says, one here, one in the back. And one of the guys like turns, shuts the door, and just kind of leans casually hanging out at the front of the dojo. The other walks around the outside and looks like is looking for like a back door or anything like that, basically covering the two exits, while she, walks with you. And where you've seen her before as like the prim pretty college socialite, stuff like that, she's dressed up a little bit more formally, but still in the like college socialite, nice, important meeting kind of stuff, a little business.
She put on her one suit.
Yeah.
I'm sure she has plenty of them, but
yes. Motions for you, kind of move to lead follows you into that back room and looks at Hadramiel, who she has seen because it's part of the council and stuff like that. Gives him a nod and looks over at you and says, "All right, we're here. We're alone." And she kind of like starts to like pace like along one wall, and definitely has that kind of look of like, tiger in a cage.
Sure.
And she looks like she's intentionally exuding a bit of like a predatory aura.
Sure.
And I need you to roll resolve plus, composure plus gnosis.
Okay. As my cat goes crazy in the background.
And Hadramiel is rolling 12.
He's got that full tummy energy.
Which is immediately going to crash.
He's going to pass the fuck out here in a second, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like she's definitely exuding this kind of predatory aura and just sheer gnosis and mage, like, awesomeness. Just kind of rebuffs it. It doesn't have any, like, splashback on her, but it's like, yep, we get it, but we're not, intimidated. Is kind
pat
of
her on the shoulder. It's like, we're going to sit down now. Do you want to?
She kind of like glares and like can very quickly tell that like her being the lead in this meeting is starting to slip away. And so quickly steps into the fine. Yes, we're all here together, and kind of sits, and you guys create a little triangle to sit. And she obviously looks far more comfortable sitting cross-legged, compared to Hadramiel, who's like trying to find how do I
fucking back
sit?
like
And this old man sit on the floor.
Yep.
And Hadramiel kind of looks at you and says, "I mean, this is your meeting. This is your idea." Like quickly, he's like, "Nope."
So everybody sits down. Okay, we'll start. But before we begin, I have no responsibilities in this matter whatsoever.
This is on you.
Yep.
All right. So I have been tasked with creating a manifestation of authority and free will in the world by what amounts to the closest thing that we know and can confirm exists to a god.
Like, and you even watch his Hadramiel goes, okay. Okay, the can confirm part, yeah, all right. And Chico looks from both of you and goes, okay, I'm not exactly a big proponent of, like, worldwide free will, but go on.
I am proposing of investing this symbol in yourself.
There's the like unsure kind of lean back. That's a lot of flowery language, sorcerer. What do you mean?
I mean, we don't know. This is all very experimental.
She starts to like get up. Go ahead and like leave. Go ahead and roll. Well, actually, you tell me. What do you say? React to be like no, like because I mean experimental and we're not sure is sounding very like iffy to her, and she's like, I'm
sure.
Not, so what do you...
So, like, as she starts to get up, I'm like, I don't mean the results are experimental. I mean, we might have to try our ritual a couple times, but you will be invested with what equates to a divine mandate to continue being the prince for foreseeable infinite future.
Beyond your lifetime.
Yes, ma'am.
She sits back down. Well, actually, roll presence plus probably persuasion, right? Because this is Songbird. Yeah.
4 successes.
4 successes. Yeah. So she eases herself back down. Says, "Okay, beyond your lifetime. That's enticing. Not having to renegotiate every 60 years." And what is this ritual going to entail? Because, like, holy water doesn't work the way some of you think it does, but...
No. Well, you're going to get a sneak peek into some serious mage shit. Because we're probably going to need to summon something from our heaven. The Aether. An angel with a flaming sword passing down a divine mandate to you.
Yeah, that part you start to lose me, but... I
mean, are Lilith's angels that type of angel, though?
Lilith is...
Prime, which is cherubim.
Yeah. So not necessarily flaming sword. But I think her reaction is... Let me phone a friend. Actually, let me phone a mutual friend. And draws her phone out and...
Oh, Tassos.
Yeah, and literally, "Hey Siri, call Tassos."
Oh, fuck. Even if she hadn't said that, like, she'd be dialing and Songbird would be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And so basically she does that, hits speakerphone, puts the phone out kind of in the middle of the mat. And there is, the slight Greek accent, of, Tassos, who comes across and, "What the fuck do you want, bitch?" She's like, "Hi, Tassos. Nice to hear you too." He's like, "I'm busy." "Yes, and I'm here with Songbird and Hadramiel, the mages." And like, there's a clatter of sound through the stuff, and he goes, "Oh, sure. Okay. This might be an interesting conversation. One second." And you hear like there's sound and movement, and then you hear like the sound of what is like a flame, or like, well, actually for Songbird, it sounds like like modern forge, the high heat, butane torch kind of thing, just kind of just as it gets shut down, it goes, "Okay, hang on," and like more and more background sound kind of dies down until like there's a door that clicks and goes, "Okay, I can talk. This is okay. Sure." You hear like papers rustling and like a click of a pen. He goes, "Okay, what?" And it's fine if Songbird doesn't jump in. And so she basically says, "Okay, the mages want to summon something from heaven to pass judgment on me." And because she's lying, but and Tassos goes, "That sounds absolutely terrifying." He's like, yeah, I know. What are the actual chances that like some crazy, and like kind of looks over at you and Hadramiel, divine, kind of with a shrug, and like Songbird shrugs.
Songbird's like shrug. Hadramiel's like, yes.
Well, Hadramiel is more of a.
These are his angels and his god.
Yeah, what's the chance that they'll like fry me to bits as soon as I see one?
Slim to none. They'll be most concerned with me.
Say that again?
I said slim to none. They'll be most concerned with me when they show up.
And Tassos is like, I don't have any notes about that, but if you're really concerned, throw one of the gangrel at it first. And like, Sheikah's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's true." Okay, but you don't have any like background knowledge or nothing in your archives. And he's like, "Well, Not that you've earned the right to, at least. Yes, all right. Fine.
I'm really enjoying this whole will they, won't they thing you guys have going on.
And there is an instinct, shut up, Songbird, from the two of them.
Probably in unison, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. And Tasso says, based on what I know, and if you want to wait, I can ask around, but no, there's no wacky divine mage stuff that's gonna fry vampires to the bone. They have other ways of doing that, but I think
if that's what this was about, I could have already done that.
Right. And Chico kind of nods. Yeah, that's true. And I think Tassos basically says, like, at this point, like, I've got some, vampire newbies that, we can sacrifice to the cause if you want to find out. But I think at this point, it's Songbird, dude, lady. Yeah, dude, let me, draw quite a bit of blood to experiment on. I'm pretty sure if he had any interest in frying a vampire, I'd probably be up there on the top of his list. And he already got the prince. So, Chico kind of looks and kind of weighing Songbird's face, looking over at Hadramiel. I was, all right, Tassos, if I die, yeah, I'm just going to sign your death warrant and just leave it with and it definitely has that sound of like, this is a thing, this has been a threat that has happened before. And Tassos like, yep, okay, sure. Well, yep, lovely talking to you, click. Hangs up, and she reaches forward and grabs the phone, puts it in her pocket. She's like, this is uncharted territory. So I'm nervous. And kind of looks in, imports the fact that she is admitting that she is nervous, and that is, of note to you. But if what you're offering is true, then I'm intrigued. And you said you get some benefit out of this. What benefit are you getting? Is this something because I need to know if it's going to end up affecting me down the line.
It has to do with my blacksmithing. It is a solely personal gain.
And you can see, she's running the numbers. Says blacksmithing fuck me up. No, I don't think it does. So she nods. She's like, okay, and kind of looks over at Hadramiel, who's been just chilling and just pantomiming and making faces, and says, so are you planning to do this now, or do you need to prepare? Hadramiel, time to prepare would be good, but we can try and do this tonight. But he's like, I need to check for some, and he puts his hand down, just kind of subconsciously on his blueberry or blackberry. It's blueberry. And says, I need to consult some tomes to see, the proper etiquette and way to do this for maximum efficacy.
Right.
But I would be more comfortable scheduling this and having and kind of looks around the adamantine arrow, sanctum, and a different place.
Sure.
But kind of actually looks over at you and says, are we good scheduling this for another time?
Yeah. How long do you think we need to prepare?
A day or two.
Chico, if you're on board, give us 48 hours, go get some sleep and some snacks, and
okay.
We'll do some fucking mage shit.
And kind of looks, he looks to her and says, how private do we need to keep this? Because obviously between the three of us,
I think all three of us have interest in keeping this private, yes.
Right. And if that's what we need to keep it at, then there are other helpers, and he's got some various sleepwalkers and stuff like that who've assisted him before. But Songbird and I can just do this between the two of us. And Chico's like, that's for the best, I think. Yes. All right, then we'll say 48 hours to the dot. I will see you here in 2 days. Well, not here. I will see you in 48 hours. And Romeo nods, Songbird nods, and then Chico kind of rises up.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, nods at you both and makes her way out. You have the little chime on the front door. And Romeo kind of sighs and leans back a little bit, and he goes, okay. We're actually doing this. Bad kitty.
It's crazy.
Join us as we watch Chris slowly get eaten to death by a cat.
Yes, by a cat. Oh my god, what are you doing?
He's a very sweet baby.
Why are you... Okay, bud. Okay. Oh, okay.
So, yes.
Fuck.
Hi.
You good? Okay. All right.
In the baby position now.
Yeah, baby position.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing this. Not sure if you heard. Well, Craig asked it. Has Songbird thought this out at all?
Nope. Yeah, I could hear you guys just fine.
Okay.
My mic just decided to just die. All I did was unplug it, replugged it. That didn't fix it. Muted it, unmuted it. That didn't work. And then all of a sudden it did work. Sorcery. God machine.
I mean, when mine was giving me trouble, I just turned it off and on again.
Yep.
Unplugged it, plugged it back in, and it was fine.
A wizard did it. I ain't got to explain shit.
Yep. Amen. Except in Mage, in which case you do every time.
Yeah.
The answer is magic. You don't need explanation.
So cool.
Magic.
But yeah, so Hadromio kind of immediately, pulls out his BlackBerry and says, okay, I've got a couple that I've met with, beings of Prime and various other arcana, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, my thought is Prime and Mind.
I won't be able to directly entice one such as this, but I mean, you know my arcana at this point, but with
but we can attempt to make a place,
put out a lure, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
I can help.
Right, I was going to say, and he basically asked, he's like, do you think the Mysterium or one of your Cabal may be able to assist in, because I mean, the Mysterium, I imagine, have some places that are properly dedicated. The Silver Ladder has a number of amazing ritual places I'm not inviting her to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
So,
yeah, I'll talk to Atratus. I already clued her in on what I might be doing and how it might have sort of ramifications to her and her projects. But she, I was sort of given that hesitant go-ahead sort of thing. So,
okay,
I'll talk it out with her more, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah. And like aching, groaning sounds.
Yeah, and then
gets up.
Give me a heads up on what sort of trial I may face.
Yeah, that would be the 48 hours that I'm wanting to do and see what trial you may face and what threats may linger, because when it comes to questions and ideas,
we're flying pretty close to the sun. We're flying pretty close to the sun here.
A little bit of that, and also when it comes to questions of, say, divine rulership, other things tend to get in the way. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. Because there are some I
said son, I meant father,
Sure. Yeah, there's a couple that I have dealt with and been all right with. And so those are the ones I'm wanting to prepare for, but hoping that we get others. For all I know, considering what we're asking for, we're going to get somebody who's not in my list. So that would be where my paranoia comes in. So, and kind of offers you a hand to help you stand up. But he says, okay, what a gentleman. 48 hours. I will hopefully have more information for you in 12. Because I do have to sleep at some point tonight. But then, hooks his arm in yours and says, "Tell me about the Paternoster again." And is walking you out.
So there I was with Odin's spear.
Cool. You guys have a little chit chat, and he also does give you some provost type work. Some different places you need to check in on, and basically be shake some hands, kiss some babies, provosty junk. That he's like, I just don't need to do this. That's why I have you.
Tell some new Abrimos to quit fucking up.
Yep. Cool. Anything else for this night? Head shakes. Cool.
Kiss some hands, shake some babies.
I thought about making that joke, but I'm not okay with it.
Shake the baby.
Yes. Kitty cat babies you may shake. So the next morning, actually, probably not even that morning, the night before, Atratus, your phone rings.
Okay.
Not too terribly late, say like 1 or 2 a.m. So still well within normal Atratus work hours. Yeah.
During Netflix hours.
Yeah. There is no static to it, but it's Rebecca's voice on the end of the line.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Atratus, darling, those lovely friends that you had us chasing, 2 of them are dead, and other 2 are wounded and hounded, but have slipped away.
I thought you said that the hollow ones and the second in command died.
Yes, meta knowledge. Thank you. Spoiler. Yes. But
Let's not get confused.
Sorry. Yeah. Yes, the 2 hollow ones are dead. The 2, one of them was injured, and we lost track of them. We did see the because you guys had mentioned Red Dread had left. We did see the I guess you would probably identify him as the tattooed guy, and we did see him slip away as well, so I'm just kind of reporting in, letting you know where we're at, and we're about to take a limo full of ghosts back down to the underworld. So if you need anything from us while we're up here, let me know. Also, if you guys want to get dinner, that would also be cool. But
sure.
Otherwise,
yeah, that sounds good. Do you know of any way to put new guardians at the cemeteries that were wiped clean?
New. I'm hoping that now that they're graveyards again and there isn't a guardian geist, that the first person interred there or the first ghost that rises there will be the guardian geist. But this is kind of new territory.
Go bury a dog?
Long pause. Actually, no, she knows. No. It's got to be a ghost, but you're talking about our bar guests, which, well, pretty awesome, not quite ghost geist kind of things.
Okay, well, I hope that they're good ones.
And no, Noctal, Atratus did not imply killing a dog, burying a dog.
Burying a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they have a new Guardian Geist too, because otherwise those two are going to be giant openings that Reapers can come in and out of, and nobody will notice and nobody have any kind of idea, and who knows what other dumbasses might open it and stumble through, and yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go back to my apartment and crash. Yeah, like dinner or lunch. I don't know what time you guys eat. We'll meet up and we'll break bread, and I don't know, I'll order you guys pizza. Whatever you want, whatever. It's been late. I'm tired.
Did you happen to find a book on one of the guys, or did they get away with it?
No, because the two that she killed were the hollow ones who did not have the book. No, I did not. No, they were unarmed. So after the fact, I felt kind of bad, but I mean, I've seen what you guys do when you are unarmed. So yeah.
Yeah, they were with the people who were. They claimed they sent the ghosts to the underworld, but so there should be a whole bunch of ghosts down there now.
Sure, but which place
Somewhere
in the
else.
underworld they dropped them off at? And stuff
Yeah,
like that,
not where they picked them up from. So
sure. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll check the other local areas, but at this point, I'm sure they've dropped way down into the underworld.
she can also just make gates that go wherever. So there's really no telling where she sent them. But
That's that's a pleasant thought. Wait, can you do that?
not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well, honey, when you can, you need to give me a call because we're gonna arrange some stuff. And I'll buy you however many milkshakes it takes to make you happy.
But yes, Masters of Death can make gates, can make ghosts. Just like create
Poof, you're a
them
ghost.
from people that aren't even dead.
That's terrifying and messed up and
Yeah, that is some
potentially
fucked up shit.
useful. And
Might be useful, yeah.
okay, like make them and then they're just start
They're
snapping
ghosts,
your fingers
yeah.
and interesting.
Yeah, can't do it yet.
Make
Someday,
a ghost
maybe.
of someone, kill them, and then them become a geist of their own self. Hell yeah. Fall all the way down the hubris well.
Right. Deep dive. Okay. Cool. Well, we're pulling in now. We're trying to find someplace to park, but then
I'll see you for lunch tomorrow.
lunch tomorrow. Absolutely. Call me when you get up because I'll be up before you. Bye,
Sure.
darling. Hangs up.
I was hoping I could get the book, but oh well.
New. The book was most definitely with the second in command who
Mhm.
ran off into the shadow. Bad idea. Potentially.
I thought they ran off into, or they went separate.
Yes. Meta knowledge. You'll probably end up chatting with Red Dread eventually, but
Sure.
yes. She and her apprentice split up.
Terrible idea.
And so, yes, the apprentice
It's
is
like
like, aha,
Scooby-Doo.
quick, the shadow. I mean, I'm being chased by spirits, but shadow you could do, yeah. No, not with Red Dread on your tail. That is kind of his thing. Chase and hunt people? Sure.
Did he
Terrible
get
when you
the
say
book?
it like that, but
But yeah, did he get it then?
you'll have to chat with Red Dread.
Songbird, call up Red Dread.
Right. But end of that night, we're just chilling, checking in with your. Are you basically? Are you shaking hands and just kind of
Yeah, hanging out at the theater, maybe catch a show,
sure?
touch base with the folks there.
Yeah. The sequel, by the way, to Spider of the Eternal was also a hit. What a surprise.
Awesome.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah. That's it.
Also want to soak up a little mana while I'm there.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your Doses plus Composure. Crap. Resolve plus Composure. Man, it's been so long. And also, you guys have oblations for recovering mana as well.
Yeah.
Resolve
You
plus
can do.
Yeah.
What are yours?
His is telling stories. Hers telling stories.
Or hearing stories. So like watching a play is a story. I can get mana from
Ooh,
it.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah.
I think it's
like that.
Gnosis and Composure.
Cool. Yeah, so that's 2 mana. Sloop. Not going to stress too much about the whole task. But yeah, you have a wonderful time getting back into, the theater that you have twisted, not necessarily around yourself, but, you've had some heavy influence in developing it and assigning it and stuff like that. Overall, especially we're talking, 6 months has gone by. The Leaf Theater has definitely grown. The Leaf Theater players are now like an actual paid full-time gig for most of them. The theater itself no longer hosts birthday parties, unless it's like special, like the whole theater is
Some
being rented
really
out
rich
for,
fuck.
Yeah. Some big, like special presentation of, the Spider of the Eternal, or something like that.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, my birthday, I really want to see Spider of the Eternal.
Yep. But yeah, overall, the place has been cleaned up and, is rather well done up. Maeve definitely reports in that, oh yeah, there's plenty of spirits who've, kind of set up shop here in one way or another. I think at this point, Songbird at least could report back, if you haven't even tapped the werewolves, that like a small locus is developing around that hallow. So spirits are flocking, and because of the various resonance and stuff like that, the geomancy that Songbird did and kind of set everything up has really kind of established it as a fairly wholesome and wonderful place for creativity. And sometimes that creativity goes in dark places and, there's some problems, but generally speaking, not really an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good
Yeah,
place.
so just want to spend some time getting reconnected to the world.
Absolutely. Righto. In that case, we can jump to lunch with Becca, or excuse me, Rebecca. Cool. Who all is going? Is it just Atratus, or you guys doing the Cabal is here?
I would ask everybody if they want to
I
come.
would. Yeah, I'd totally go.
I know.
I will respectfully find other things to do.
Huh?
So me and Wyrd, and then if any of the others want to come also.
Songbird will respectfully find something else to do.
Sure. Yeah, the death stuff is just not Songbird's vibe. Cool.
But yeah, like Rose was going around with me to the cemeteries. Like, do you want to meet the guys?
Yep. Rose, Gabe, obviously. Network.
Yeah.
Actually, probably not Network.
Doesn't this go into this whole Avengers thing?
A little bit, but also, like, again, has no death, and Rebecca is kind of terrifying. Like, all of them are a little terrifying to him.
Titus, no.
Yeah. No, Titus probably not.
Actually, that brings me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
How much is Jimmy doing these days?
Jimmy is pretty, like, active in the various social media stuff, but he's definitely stepped away from, like, the gym. And he's not gone full Atratus killing off Emily kind of stuff. But yeah, especially because, the Silver Ladder helped spin a tale of how he's lost his sight and stuff like that. And so he's stepped back from that kind of stuff. I'm sure Acanthus is still doing fights, but probably...
Yeah, he's probably tied to what Acanthus is doing. He's still your publicist, yeah.
He was always the social media guy and the party guy, and so he's definitely shifted away from that. And he still is he's shifted a lot of his attention from parties to like charity ball type stuff, not charity balls, but like charity stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly, I don't know how much Acanthus would be into it. I know Songbird would, but like, yeah, we're going to organize this UFC fight, and like ticket proceeds go to this thing or that thing.
Right. Oh yeah, totally.
And so, and Network Jimmy is basically like, okay, it's like I was an asshole in my former life, and a lot of people are, chopping it up. Basically, looking at like, oh yeah, he lost his sight, and now like he's had a, turning over new leaves. There's a new side of him, kind of thing. People are making whatever excuses they want to about the reason for a fairly large character change. But when he is in that persona, he's still not necessarily coarse, but he's boisterous, a little bit too much energy.
Much like Songbird.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think actually the two of you probably like feed each other to help maintain that the illusion of the other selves. But yeah, he's
well, like it's one of the really interesting things for me of the Shadow name is like at what point, because like there's definitely a difference, right? Like Songbird is in and out of Songbird quite frequently,
right?
But like Atratus and Wyrd, like they're way more their Shadow name at this point than they are their old selves.
I don't know. Old self, yes, but Moira, is a pretty. Well, actually, I don't know, Craig. Is Moira that different from Wyrd, or is that just the name that Wyrd does sleeper things under?
No, Moira is a lot different than Wyrd. Where is she? She's a little more. She's personable and so there's certain aspects that are the same. But Wyrd is a lot more like play your cards close to your chest kind of thing than Moira is. Moira is a little more outgoing and open about stuff. So there's definitely a dividing line there.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that's true. Wyrd is probably very concerned and controlling about making connections to people, where Moira, who cares?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Right. Good stuff. I like those little interludes. That's my shit. All right. But yeah. So you guys gather together at a lunch place of, doesn't matter where. And Rebecca and Steven, nope. Sean. One of these days, I'll actually have characters pulled up when I start talking about them. But yeah.
Stop it, cat. Somebody taught the cat that dice are fun to play with.
Oh, yes. He learned to
this
roll
is a problem for me now.
And Ash is being problematic.
Thanks, Ash.
Sorry, I taught your cat to roll dice.
That's how it starts. Next thing you know, the cat is just hoarding
them.
Yep. Dice goblins. But yes, you guys have, lunch, sit down. Sean and Rebecca, are very happy to eat food, as opposed to the kind of stuff that they're having to make do with in the underworld. Which I'm not 100% sure what they do, but whatever it is, it's probably not great.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah.
Nope.
All plasm.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a nice lunch then.
Oh yeah, I figure. And you guys have a little chat. She kind of brings you up to speed on current plans. The fact that basically at this point the Phantasm Society is actually composed of 3 Geist crews now that have joined forces. But
that's good. That means they have a better shot at it, right?
Overall, Bound and Sin Eaters, they're sitting at about 20 of them at various levels of quality and power and stuff like that. Rebecca is still easily in the lead, but she's but at this point we have a shot. Like when the last crew that tried this, and at this point she's basically let everybody know, we tried this once before, it didn't work, and I'm the only one to come out of it. At this point they all know it, and they're down there. It's like we had considerably less. We did less research, and we were much more gung-ho about it. And that was some of what the crew were the previous crew were a bunch of crusaders, basically charging down. We're going to kick down the doors of the underworld and we're going to take over, and we got our asses beat. So I'm taking the more methodical, controlled way to do it. Because let's be honest, even if we do manage this, it's a drop in the bucket, but it'll at least be that first start. And so we're doing this carefully. We're trying to build a power base, which at this point is fairly stable. They don't have invaders or people, messing with them. Reapers steer clear. And they occasionally have weird ancient Chthonian things that, try and gobble up, swarms of ghosts, but now they have a, kind of self-defense force. And especially when you have 20 Geists, you can work some stuff, but every time they do that, burns through their supplies of essence and plasm. And so but yeah, overall it was good up until a couple weeks ago when we stopped getting new recruits in, new recruits, and she kind of makes a face, batteries, the folks who are not worth or not
rank ones that are just kind of
people that we can't help.
Usually
rage and sadness and things that are just going to get gobbled up by the underworld. Yeah, we try and help them along and get what we can from them. And again, makes a face and but
unfortunate, but you really can't do anything for them.
No, I mean, I know you've got a trick up your sleeve to help them, but that you've made that
temporary.
Clear that's temporary, right? Yeah. But yeah, overall, at this point, it's keeping up with the recruitment, keep an eye out for New Bound, and we've started making forays and kind of nods to Sean down the rivers and scouting out dominions and seeing, what rules are where and what places are, because we have to start somewhere with a dominion that has at least tolerable rules before we can start to subvert them with our own. So if we can find a place that has, something tolerable and isn't completely, that isn't turning ghosts directly into objects and vessels like Orcus's forge. I don't think she actually calls him out, but that's in the book. Just a place like you walk in here as a ghost, congratulations, you're snatched up by a terrible, crazy forge master and reshaped into an object.
Hell yeah.
Wait, no.
No.
But
yeah, I can. Again, eventually, I can be more help. Right now, I can honestly probably still be more helpful.
It's okay. No. And like she says, no guilt trip at all. But she's like, I know you have other stuff that you are doing. I know you are working on stuff here, and I can't ask you. Like, you don't have the same understanding and the same feel that I do about this because you can't. But you have a different view of the world that I can't understand. And that's fine. Where we can help each other and it crosses over, that's awesome. Because even if you came down and threw a bunch of magic bullshit around, a lot of that ends up being temporary. And, even like, then we would have to have you stay around. Like, we have to do this one way or another for ourselves. And so your help is useful, but we can't have you do it all. So I appreciate it. And I'll be honest, having you guys that we can give a call and, that aren't in the middle of the fight, to remind us of because let's be honest, living in the underworld sucks. And so, being able to come up and see smiling faces and people that we can talk to and just unload like this, it's helpful. It's useful. And, I appreciate it.
We can
Also,
be
thank you
eyes
for
and ears up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if we didn't have you, we'd be sitting short of probably 3 graveyards and probably be completely cut off from supply of ghosts and essence. So,
About that, I wanted to, not on behalf of everybody, just on behalf of apologize that we didn't loop you guys in sooner when we found out what was going on.
I mean,
we caught them pretty much immediately.
Yeah. And I mean,
but as we were collecting details, we didn't really fill them in. We just said, hey, this is happening right now. Do you want in or not?
Yeah.
We kind of sprung that part on them.
That part. It's a, shortest drive across the underworld in a tricked out badass limousine, that.
True. That is an awesome car.
It's a thing. We stole it from a Reaper. And once we
does
realized,
it do things? Yeah.
It could literally drive up and down the river Styx.
That's cool.
Yeah. We kind of want to try it on the other rivers, but if it doesn't work on the other rivers, we've lost the badass limo. So yeah, we're trying to figure out how it works so that we can make more of them. Because personally, I'm a Mustang gal, and I would love, I'm just saying, black Mustang, red flames, I don't care if it's tacky, I want it. But Sean, rolls his eyes like he's clearly heard this conversation before.
I could probably get you the car done up really nicely.
See?
You would probably have to do the ghost bits, but
this is you helping.
Scour through some junkyards and find the parts, I can make something very cool out of it.
See, this is why. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that you can. We'll call it.
I would 300% be behind helping out with that.
Would you like a cool old classic Mustang with the interior of a limo?
I love where you're going with this. I don't know if that's gonna hold over into the underworld, but we could take just a Mustang and have the interior be like a hotel room.
Well, you can make it huge. You can do literally what.
Well, I need
on the inside.
I need a broken car and a broken something else to then combine them. So I was thinking if I could find a junked out limo and a junked out Mustang, I could make something very cool.
Yeah, sure. We'll take whatever you got.
Right, but I was thinking of throwing some space in there.
Both.
That is a spell that you would have to do. I have it as a legacy attainment. I can just do it.
With Wondrous Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yeah.
Speaking of legacy attainments.
Yeah, which actually. Perfect timing. So yeah, you guys have your little lunch. Have jot down some notes of. So yeah, we're gonna hit a junkyard later. Because let's be honest, if you need to find a busted up Mustang and a busted up limo, you have
Go to Jersey.
A junkyard in Jersey, yeah.
All right, Wyrd, you're driving. Where are we going? I don't know. I'm just going to drive with my eyes closed. We'll get there. Please don't drive with your eyes closed, people at home. You will not like where you end up.
I want to go through and make a list of all of Drew's nonsense PSAs.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's a pretty good thing for us to transition into. It's just kind of the end of the scene. Do you have that little book handy? Because I'm trying to remember if that ritual is different.
It's just for the opposite wrist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for the legacy attainment ritual.
Yeah, the nails.
Yes. So yeah, as opposed to the first Forge Master legacy attainment, where it was a big show and Everybody was there. It's still a big show, but this point, like everybody, all the Forge Masters have like acknowledged Songbird as a Forge Master. And so this one, Colossus was like, yeah, invite your friends. Whoever wants to see you get smashed with a big hammer made of mana. It's a show.
I want to see it.
Yeah. And for Songbird's sake, who all do you invite, or is there anybody you don't invite or anything, or is it just like
the Cabal.
Say it again?
The whole Cabal.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and I imagine some workspace next to that big forge that you made. There's this other one that Colossus has been kind of getting set up over the past couple days while all this other stuff has been going on. And repeats the ritual more or less of inviting a naked Songbird down into the forge with can't remember. Do you stab yourself with the?
You stab yourself. The snail is made out of thaumium.
Ah, yes, the really cool defensive one. The Orichalcum, Lunargent, and can't remember what the other one was. Hermium.
Oh wait, no. Second attainment involves a similar rite with nail of thaumium.
Oh.
The third.
Which we're not there yet.
The third. What's up? No, that's the third attainment.
Hang on, which book are you talking about, the core book? Because that one only has 3 attainments.
No.
Are you talking about the Legacy book?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that only has 3
Legacy
attainments.
is the ancient. Okay.
Because that's the
Forge
old...
Masters?
Because we had split them out 1, 3, and 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That way there wasn't a little ritual thing every single time.
Okie dokie.
Yep. But nonetheless, yes, this one is thaumium.
All right, well, just for shits and giggles,
Sure.
The third one involves stabbing yourself in the side with a blade made out of Electrum Magicum, which is apparently an alloy of all 7 perfected metals.
What?
Okay.
Stab myself with the rainbow blade from Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Noted. Yep.
Probably just be a cool knife to have.
I'm sure. I'd have no idea what it
would do.
does, but
Yeah, good luck. Yeah,
Yep.
That's a mystery.
Yep.
Capital M.
yeah. Cool. But yes, I imagine Titus legitimately makes popcorn, and we're gonna do this as a show. Then we're gonna do this as a show, and hijacks the popcorn maker from the Leaf Theater. Passes out paper bags. Everyone sits. There are some various jokes made about oh my god, Songbird's naked, as if this is the first time it's happened. Because let's be honest, different rituals and stuff like that. All of you have probably seen all of you in some level of undress, one way or another. It's just whatever.
Comes with the territory.
What was that?
I said it comes with the territory.
Yeah. And yes, the pouring of obscene amounts of mana from Songbird, collected tasks, and then Colossus pouring in some, and then smashing the entire thing apart with a big old hammer made entirely of tasks, smashing it away as Songbird, if I remember correctly, the first time around, you were just A-OK screaming about the pain. Yeah. Smashing that out and then smashing Soul into shape to take the 3rd legacy attainment of the Forge Master, which I'm trying to remember which attainment was that. Is that the Platonic Form one? I do have a book.
That's the Ephemeral Enchantment one.
Doop, doop. Doop, doop, doop.
Yeah, that's the Ephemeral Enchantment one.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
Which would have been handy earlier.
Well, it doesn't let you do the Bane part.
Oh, that's right. But yes. Touch things, make them smack ghosts or spirits or angels or weird force entities.
Yep.
Oh, hey, look, I jumped right to it.
But it can apply to part of a thing. So I can do the bumper of a car and then run something over.
Yep.
Start running over ghosts.
And then you've got Matter 3, right? So, yeah. So in addition, you can also refine its physical effect, tempering it by 2 or 3. Yeah, 3, because you have Matter 4. Yep.
Damage bonus.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So making added touch, super awesome weapons and tools. And
I think it takes a scene.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that way we don't overrun too much, unless, well, actually, real quick, because we do have 17 minutes, so we got some time. But is there anything else that we wanted to try and do? Obviously, when we come back, Hadromiel will fill Songbird in on.
After Drew takes a week to do some research.
2 weeks.
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Well, it better be a fucking good supernal.
That is the plan. Yes, it is so much easier when I get more than, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to summon a rank 5 Moira. Okay.
Love you, Craig.
Yeah. Well, that, like I said, that one fortunately worked out because you aimed it at the Tetrarch, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We have that target.
I can summon an asshole and be okay.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Yep. Moving right along. So yeah, was there anything else you guys were doing? Like I said, besides everyone kind of joining in and enjoying the show and the natural like applause of, you know, Songbird furthering the forging, literally, of the soul. Was there anything else you guys had planned for that night?
You're welcome for those arcane beats, y'all.
That's true.
Up. Pass them all around.
That's awesome. Thanks. Just want to check in with Steven and just, you know, as we're breaking up after the forging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no,
Steven's not part of the Cabal?
Yeah,
You know
'cause it was
Cabal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll check in with Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure we're good.
Yeah. He's
had a couple days to think about everything I said.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, you rolled. Yeah, you had your success. He gets it, you know, and some of it is just, you know, applying the lesson. And he also checked in with like Moonkeeper. He, you know, explains, it's like, yeah, so this weird thing happened, and like, you know, there was a supernal summoning, and then there was the other things, and, you know, and he's like, yeah, I didn't tell Moonkeeper, you know, what you were summoning it for, but yeah, Moonkeeper seemed, you know, pretty, you know, said the same thing you did. You know, these things happen when you ask the wrong kinds of questions, or, you know, have the wrong kind of symbols in, you know, the summoning room, and, you know, you lean too much in one direction and you're bound to get something nasty. So yeah, we had a good talk about intent and imagos. It was good. It's good. Yeah, I feel like I'm, you know, starting to get a hang on this.
Good. Okay, that's it.
Cool. Well, to make sure that we definitely end right at time, and because obviously I always talk overly long. Thank you guys for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for sitting through the weird technical difficulties of my mic doing whatever it was doing. I blame Spirit One Gremlins. But, yeah, who knows? As always, come join us on Discord, yeetinto.space. We would love you to be part of our community. We have a terrific community. I'm very, very pleased. There are arguments and fights, and we disagree about rules, and then we figure it out, and then we come together, and like, I'm not going to call them out or anything like that, but we've had people argue about stuff, and then afterwards be like, bro, we good? Bro, we're good. And I'm like, I want to hug you all my little knucklehead children. Thank you guys for being an awesome community. Thank you for being a safe place, and in the real legit term of that. It means a lot that we have that, and we can be that, and that's because you all are also awesome. So thank you. As always, you can also check out and see some of the other non-show stuff that's all posted on Patreon, which is patreon.com/occultist or staylucky.club. So we will have, for instance, Network's character sheet is there. As soon as Deviant gives a release and a character sheet, Judd will make his way over there. I was hoping that it would be soon-ish, because I legit thought I was so certain that the Deviant was going to release while Chris was running the Richmond thing. That didn't happen. Whoops. And of course, we've got like the various character art, which you can always go find. That super awesome comic that Brenna did, commissioned by Moku, still the best thing ever.
So good.
Very good.
So good.
And then, yes, do check out. We've got literally for those on watching Twitch, as soon as we're out of here, give it 10 minutes and the gang will be on for Legend Lore. I don't remember who all is in it, but I do know I'm 90% sure. Wait, no, yeah, I'm not even going to say it because I think I'm wrong. So we're not even going to. But a bunch of folks in to do the Legend Lore stuff. I have no idea what their actual story or anything is planned. I'm probably going to catch it because I'm very curious.
D&D Isekai sounds fun.
Yes. Play yourself or make your own character, and basically be a person from our world in the Legend Lore universe and show up with your wacky knowledge of anime and Gundams and TV shows and movies and make references and make jokes and make puns and do it in character. As well as experience a world where it's a fantasy world, but yes, weird things from our world have been left there and become part of the world. Thank you. And so it's a wonderful, terrific concept. It is based on the D&D 5e, which I'll be honest has so far been my favorite D&D system ever. I'm very pleased with it, and so check it out.
Well, actually,
exactly. We're not getting into version wars. Everybody, you can, if you like a different version, you can still play that. But
okay, here's a quick thought: play the games that you like.
Exactly, and don't waste your breath arguing about why you don't like this one. Just don't.
Yeah.
I won't tell you to play any game specifically, except everything that John Harper has written.
John Harper does which ones?
Blades in the Dark.
Oh, okay. There you go. It is definitely on my list. Anyways, check them out. That is on Kickstarter. Like I said, if you do the basic pledge level, you can get access to the manuscript, so you can go check it out. You can read through and see what you think and actually decide if you want to bump up to actually get the full complete thing, if you want to get the awesome physical copies, which, by the way, because I realize some people don't realize this, if you get the physical copies from Kickstarter, you don't get the print on demand ones like you get from Drive-Thru RPG. You get they are hardbound, but it's the traditionally printed book. So you get a little bit higher quality and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. You can, if I remember correctly, there's one of the levels that gets you a digital one and a coupon to use on the print on demand version. But yeah, they've got some really cool ones, and I'm very mad that maybe one day we'll have a Mage second edition re-release and I'll be able to get one. Because I don't want a print on demand one. I want the traditional one. It's got a little bookmark or something like that. I just need it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Hang out in chat and hang out here and I guess we'll use the Twitch term, raid the next stream and just say hey and go see what is going on and see if it's your kind of thing. And then, of course, oh, man, I keep forgetting. Next week, no game, Q&A with Megan Fitzgerald. Bring the questions to Discord. We are collecting them. Songbird is combing through them, throwing out some of the questions that we definitely cannot ask. I'm going to yeet
some of these questions out of existence, but...
Say that again?
I said I'm going to yeet some of these questions out of existence, but right. That's fine.
Some of them we just literally cannot ask Megan, just because she won't be able to tell us an answer. And also feel free, fire some questions at us. Megan is going to be there, but I know some folks have asked, what's your favorite this, that, or the other? That's stuff that we can answer too. Those are good. That way, I think Chris mentioned on the last one, it's not just all of us talking to Megan and she's having to deal with fire from four sides. And of course, we will be streaming it live, so we may keep an eye on Twitch for your reactions and your questions as we go live and do that kind of stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be laid back and kicked, and we're just been chilling with Megan Fitzgerald, the person who's in charge of my favorite game ever. I will not fangirl on stream. I probably will. So until
That's why
then,
I'm taking over the questions. That's why I'm taking over the questions.
That's probably a good idea. Until next time, folks, we will see you.
Stay lucky.